In the previous video, we learnt about how only Rusty kept the promise and reached the pool after 10 years. We also read how fondly he recollected the memories of the discovery of the pool and his best friends Somi and Anil. Let's read further. There were slim silverfish in the waters of the stream. At first, we tried catching them with a line, but they soon acquired the art of taking the bait without being caught on the hook. Next, we procured a bedsheet. Anil removed it from his mother's laundry and we stretched it across one end of the stream, but the fish wouldn't come anywhere near it. Finally, without telling us, Anil fetched a stick of gunpowder from a fireworks shop. Somi and I were startled out of an afternoon siesta by a flash across the water and a deafening explosion. Half the hillside tumbled into the pool, and so did Anil. But we got him out along with a good supply of stunned fish that were really too small to eat. Anil, however, didn't want all his work going to waste, so he roasted his fish over a fire and ate them by himself, including their tails. In this paragraph, Rusty describes their fishing adventure. Line is a fishing rod and bait is a small piece of food attached to the hook of the fishing rod to attract fish. The fish are very clever. They soon learn to eat away the food without being caught by the hook. So they tried catching them by using an old bedsheet which Anil brought from his mother's laundry, but were not successful in catching any fish. Then one day, Anil got a stick of gunpowder from a fireworks shop and exploded it in the afternoon. Somi and Rusty were taking an afternoon nap near the pond. They suddenly woke up by the loud sound of explosion. Because it was a hillside, the sound of explosion echoed and became deafening, and the whole place vibrated immensely. Anil fell in the pool. Somi and Rusty pulled him out and also a large amount of tiny fish. Anil did not want his efforts to go a waste, so he roasted all the fish, including the tails, and ate them up all by himself. The effects of the explosion gave Anil another idea to enlarge our pool by building a dam across one end. This was accomplished with our combined labor. But we had chosen the season of the monsoon rains, and one day a torrent of water came rushing down the bed of the stream, bursting the dam and flooding us out of the ravine. Our clothes were carried away, and we had to wait until it was dark before slinking homewards, stark naked. We kept to the darkest alleys, but Somi was spotted near a lamp post. He simulated the stance of a naked fakir and began calling for alms and finally slipped in through the back door of his house without being recognized. The ever-energetic Anil came across one more idea: to enlarge the pool, that is, to make the pool bigger by building a dam at one end. So the three of them made it successfully, but they had chosen the wrong season to build the dam. As we all know, monsoon season is a rainy season and it rains heavily on the hills in Dehradun. The newly built dam could not take the pressure of heavy rains and collapsed. The boys were enjoying themselves in the pool at that time. As the dam burst, the pressure of water forced them out of the ravine, the deep narrow valley of the pool. Their clothes were carried away by the stream and the boys had to wait till dark to go home, naked, without any clothes to cover themselves. They felt very embarrassed, so they tried to take the lanes which were not properly lit at night by the street lights. But someone spotted Somi. With his presence of mind, Somi started behaving like a naked fakir and started begging all the way home and quietly entered his house through the back door so that no one may come to know about his misadventure. Other activities at the pool included wrestling and buffalo rides. We wrestled on a strip of sand that came down to the edge of the water and rode on a couple of buffaloes that sometimes came to drink and wallow in the more muddy parts of the stream. We would sit astride the buffaloes and kick and yell and urge them forward, but we were never able to move them. At best, they would roll over on their backs, taking us with them into the soft mud. It didn't really matter how muddy we got, because we had only to dive into the pool to wash off the mess. If it was possible to get out of our houses undetected at night, we would come to the pool and bathe by moonlight. We bathed silently because the stillness and eeriness of the surrounding jungle seemed to discourage high spirits. We saw several snakes which came out to feed on the frogs that spent the summer nights in full throated song. An impassive owl occasionally watched us from the branch of a big sal tree. Sometimes Somi would sing in a deep, pleasant voice, and we would float magnolia blossoms down the moonlit stream. Here, Rusty describes their activities in the pool like wrestling with each other and the buffalo rides. They wrestled by the pool on the sandy area and rode on buffaloes when they came to quench their thirst and enjoy themselves in deep muddy water. Now, this is a very common sight of buffaloes relaxing in water. These boys would sit on the buffaloes and shout and kick them to move forward, but the buffaloes were never bothered. They kept themselves in the pool for long hours and would sometimes roll back, and the boys would fall off on their backs on the soft mud. They didn't mind being covered by mud. They would just dive in the pool and all the mud would be washed off. Sometimes they would sneak out of their houses to bathe in pool in moonlit night in silence and stillness of the jungle. They would see snakes come out of their holes and eat the frogs who would be croaking loudly in summers. At times they could see the owl perched high on the big sal tree. Somi too would be inspired to sing in a deep, pleasant voice in the moonlit silence of the ravine. They would also float magnolias in the stream. Magnolias are white, fragrant flowers. They looked very beautiful in moonlight floating in the pool. In these paragraphs, see how Ruskin Bond has picturesquely described the activities of the boys and the beauty of nature. This type of visual description is called imagery. That means the description is so detailed and clear that it makes you visualize every scene